What up, gamers? I have a new comp from China brought to us from the beast from the east, Tanner on Twitter. Qwars Tanner. Make sure to give him a follow. I will leave his link in the description below. It's a great resource of keeping track of Chinese ladder, and this new Kindred comp has started to perform quite well on the Chinese ladder, and I have tried it in my game, and it was a second, and that was the highest I could place that game. The comp feels good when you have the opener, and so let's just talk about it here. And yeah, let's get into it. So this is a new variant on the ghostly tech, and so this is a comp. You do not force it. Tanner has been speaking to the players who have been playing this comp a lot in China, and you do not force this comp. It is not that good, but it is a very good comp to play when you have an RE 2-star opener with a static shiv, which gives you insane tempo. If you have that type of opener, you have insane tempo. You just got to put frontline in front of her, static shiv. You're going to get so many kills early game, going to make you very healthy, and they'll make hitting this comp quite easy. Rolling for this comp is going to be good, especially when there's other 2-cost rerolls in the game, especially if you see another ghostly player. Now, you might not be able to hit the Shin if you see another ghostly player, but if the other ghostly player is playing more for Senna and not playing for Gnar at all, then you're going to hit this Kindred and Gnar for free, and you can just jam the tank items onto a 2-star Alawi if you don't hit the 3-star Shin. This comp does want a lot of frontline, so you definitely want to hit Shin. But again, if you're just super contested, but you have a lot of tempo going into this, just get the 3-star Kindred, the 2-star Alawi, maybe a 3-star Ari, maybe a 3-star Gnar, jam the tank items, and then start pushing levels if you have a lot of tempo. If you don't have a whole lot of tempo, you are going to need 3 stars for this comp to top 4 usually, but you're just gonna have to scout the lobby to make sure that is possible. So again, do not force, but this is gonna be good. So this composition is really cool. It needs a lot of frontline. So any augments that's going to give you more frontline, like bulk or anything like that, is going to be good. Featherweights is obviously super good. We're playing mostly 1 and 2 cost, and things like crash test dummies that give you more frontline is going to be great for you as well. Things like harm assist are pretty good. The game I played, I took harm assist. I didn't build any healing and that sort of thing. We were good to go. And so let's talk about the strength of this comp. The strength of this comp is it's very good early game tempo with RE 2-star. And just with any general frontline, you get to play Faded. And you get to play Ghostly. Those are some of the best lines in the game right now because this comp is very flexible. Once you hit on level 6, once you hit your 3 stars and you start pushing levels, you can then, after that, obviously what we want to do naturally is going to play Kanye plus a Morgana. And then we're at 4 Ghostly, and those are good units for this comp, and we're good to go. That's obviously what we want to play. But if we don't end up playing that, we can end up playing Faded. You know, we can just, I don't know, play something like this. And then we have Faded. We have another Warden. We could even potentially, if we get another emblem, we could play a Warden emblem. Emblems are very strong in this comp. If you get Faded emblem, it's very strong because then you can do a setup that looks something like this. You get a Faded emblem, and then boom, bam, boom, Bob's your uncle. So much frontline. We'd be at 5 Faded with the emblem for Warden. Be good to go, and you can go for you know, if Ghostly emblem's very strong as well because then you can play just the Kanye. Which will give you perfect synergies with a Ghostly emblem right there. This is perfect synergies, and you can just jam a really good unit like an Ornn or something like that that can synergize with you. Additionally, you can also end up playing, if you hit an early Azir, you can play Azir plus this guy. Now, you do want to get Reaper in. Reaper is very important, especially if you're going to itemize in this way. So usually it's better just to go for the Ghostly variant. I think it's probably going to be the best way to do it so that you can build Kindred in this manner because Kindred built in this manner in this comp is going to be very good. So let's talk about itemizations. So you just want to put your tank items onto a Shin 3. Whatever your tank items are, put them there. Something like this is going to be very good for you. Whatever, just build tank items. You know, don't think about it too hard. You do need Magic Shred in this build. Static Shiv is going to be probably your best bet because it's just a nice item to put on Ari, and it gives you a lot of tempo as well. But if you need to build the Ionic Spark, perfectly fine. Just put it on your off tank, either Alawi or Shin, whichever one you're main tanking, just put it on the other one and make sure they're a little bit protected so that you have that shred throughout the entire fight. But generally, I just like building Static Shiv. I think the tempo is insane on it. And then let's talk about Kindred itemization. So you need a mana gain item. Blue buff is the best, but Adaptive and Sojin are perfectly acceptable. So if you need to build those for tempo, your items are just a little scuffed, then build whatever, but blue buff is going to be the best. It is the best one. And after that, anything like Gunblade or Archangel, that's like the nut setup, especially once you get Reaper in, can be quite nice. But, you know, I played my game, I had to end up going blue buff QSS Guardbreaker. And my damage was not super great, but I knew I was going to hit my Kindred 3 early and I could push to 7 and put a Reaper in. So that's what I did. And I went second place in that game. It was impossible to go any higher than that. There was a player who was fast 10. So second place was a first in that game, essentially. So yeah, going for a setup like this is going to be quite nice. If you want to build something like a Jeweled Gauntlet, for tempo, like this will give you a lot of mid-game power. A build like this will give you, especially if you think you're going to be slow rolling on 6 for a long time and you need to save some HP, then do not be afraid to build a Jeweled Gauntlet. I know everyone will tell you it's the worst item in the game. It is not good, but if you need the tempo, it can be good here because then it can save you from having to play Reaper, you know. But obviously we do want to play Reaper, but you guys get what I'm saying here. And then other than that, put your leftover carry items onto Ari. So the game that I played, I ended up having, I'll show you my exact itemization. This was my itemization in the game that I played. We went QSS and we went Guard Breaker. And then my level 7 looked like this. My level 7 looked like this, and I was going into stage 5 with my board looking like this, and it actually felt pretty decent. And the lobby was not super weak. A lot of them were going level 9, and they were hitting their level 9 comps at that time. And there was one other reroar and a Phelios reroar in my game. And so this is exactly what my comp looked like. But I remember I had a lot of early game tempo because I only played this comp because I hit an Ari 2-star with some frontline, and I had an item to slam on her. And that allowed me to play the game like this, where I could build items like this. I mean, that was the best I could build. And that doesn't give me a whole lot of damage in the mid game. But once I get Reaper in, then this build is very good in the late game. So that's why I built like this in that specific game. So anyways, guys, this is the comp. Hope that you guys learn it. Hope you guys use it. And again, make sure you guys go and follow Tanner over here. He always leaks the Chinese tech. You can see I put a little post here because I played the comp and it felt pretty good. Here's the exact screenshot I played. There we go. Boom, bam, boom. Bob's your uncle. Very good. I didn't even play Shin 3 that game. I played Alawi 3 and we were good to go. And yeah, so make sure you guys follow Tanner and good luck in your games.